Welcome to Love You Bro podcast. I am your host, Jude, and as I do it up every week, I do it with my baby brother, Jamie.
What to do?
What's up, brother?
How you doing, bro?
Good, man. Hey, before we start our episode tonight, I'm even going to kind of tear up a little bit. Just, I really want to extend our deepest thoughts and prayers going out to Texas and to the people that were in the camp and in that flood down in Houston.
Horribly sad, man.
Down that place. We want to make sure that
Thoughts and prayers
just
for sure.
send prayers and stuff down to all of them down there. I know the Hunts lost a cousin. I know there's people we know that have lost people. So first and foremost, just may the Lord wrap his hands around the people down there that have lost people and just say some prayers down there. With that being said, man, we have a special guest to bring on, man. One of Kansas City, a local guy from here that's blowing up and doing big things. Tonight, we want to welcome to the show from the Triple-A Omaha Royals, Carter Jensen. Carter, welcome to the show tonight.
How we doing? Appreciate it.
Well, so first off, bro, happy birthday. You just had a birthday a couple days back. Happy birthday, bro.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I sent him a little text out on the 3rd wishing him a happy birthday. Carter, there's so much to talk about, man. We want to talk about, your high school stuff. We want to talk about, recruiting process and things like that. And there's so many other things we want to get to and where you're at now and all the big things you're doing in Omaha. But let's go back. I'd like to kind of go back to when you were at Park Hill. Tell us about what that was like there, because it was just, a couple years ago, as far as all the recruiting. I know you got recruited to LSU, but tell us what that recruitment was like, and we'll get into a little bit of that and some questions about that.
Yeah, so I guess growing up, baseball, I played every sport, I played baseball, basketball, football, soccer, hockey. My dad played professional hockey, so
very cool.
I grew up playing hockey as well. But, baseball has been the thing that I've just loved the most, and frankly I was the best at it. So just my time at Park Hill was a lot of fun. All my buddies playing with them, of course, was amazing, and it was pretty relaxed until all the recruiting stuff. A lot of people don't know this, but I was committed to Mizzou around my freshman year kind of.
Okay.
I was only committed there for a couple months because the hitting coach that I really liked there ended up leaving. And so decommitted there, and I kind of sat back and I was like, man, Mizzou's great school and obviously SEC school, but I was like, man, I've always wanted to go to LSU, so I was like, I really wanted to pursue that. Travel ball and everything, playing around. They had saw me, and they liked what they saw. I went down to campus and worked out there and ended up committing. So that was a dream come true. I watched them in the College World Series. It was a while ago, but just growing up, that's where I wanted to be. I'm thankful for them for the opportunity. Obviously, I didn't end up going there, but I got to check off a dream of mine, committing there.
When did their recruitment and stuff, when did that pick up? You said you'd committed to Missouri, decommitted. When did LSU, was that junior year? Was that senior year? When did they jump in hot and heavy and say, hey, Carter, we want you to come be one of our guys here?
So it was after my sophomore year of high school, kind of the summer in between sophomore and junior year. And honestly, I wasn't really expecting it at first. They had reached out to me. One of my summer ball coaches gave their recruiting coordinator my number, and they texted me. And I remember when I got that text, I was like, man, this is pretty cool. But yeah, it was right around my junior year when I committed. And then obviously with COVID, that was my junior year. So I lost my junior year of high school, due to COVID and all that. So never really got to play that much. A little bit around locally, but just with COVID and everything, shutting everything down. But they got to watch me my senior year, and I actually went down there for an official visit again once they switched coaches, once Jay Johnson came in, and that was like a week before the draft too. So there's kind of felt some pressure there on what decision I wanted to make.
Of course.
Yeah. So Carter, right now, there's kids that are balling out in MLB and in the Triple-A, Double-A that are all from the state of Missouri. Jacob, did you face Miz at Grain Valley, or was he your timetable, or was he Did you guys cross paths?
I know I think he was a year older than me. But no, I never faced him. But I'm familiar with him just because we worked out at the same facility. So I was familiar with him. I'd caught him before. But
Okay, cool.
I never faced him before pro ball.
Sure. And so when you're catching him, does that 99, 100, does that look different than 96, 97?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. Especially with the extension he's got.
Yeah.
The extension he's got, he reaches out pretty far, and he gets the ball. He gets the ball moving for sure.
And congratulations on your nod to the Futures game. That's super dope, and that's quite an accomplishment, and that's got to feel really good, man. How was that when you got that call?
It was awesome. I found out before everybody, before I kind of went public, and that was kind of one of the things I really wanted to do this year, and I knew that I had to play well, and I did that, played well, and ended up getting that invite. So super, super awesome, and super blessed to be able to do that for sure.
Yeah, that's big time, man.
That's awesome, Carter. So talking back about when you were getting recruited and stuff to LSU and things, is that something that you look back now and just, you had to watch some of the College World Series when you got an opportunity. Did you get a chance to catch them some this season when LSU when they won the World Series?
Yeah. So I guess they won 2, I guess, in what would have been my time there. So,
Right.
it would have been really fun. But I get a lot of questions always like, do you regret not going to LSU? Like, especially when they're winning championships and doing so well. Like, they're like, man, do you wish you went? And I was like, I'm sure it would have been fun, but like, I'm getting to live out my real dream right now with the Royals. Like, growing up being a Royals fan, like, I'm getting to live that out every single day. So I wouldn't change anything for the world.
No, 100%. Watching what you're doing now, it's awesome. And to say, watching someone from our backyard, do what you're doing is awesome. I would think, watching LSU is, like you said, it's great, it's fun, but the decision you made is where you're supposed to be right now, and it's a blast watching you there. Let me ask you a question about, guys you played with, guys that have not been drafted yet. What do you think about all the craziness and NIL and all the transfer portal and all that kind of stuff going on? Do you look at that at all? Do you have friends in that position right now? Do you talk to them at all, or what's your take on NIL and college and the way all that's going right now?
Yeah, like I've had friends go through it, in all sorts of different sports, baseball, basketball, football. And like, for me, it's like, I don't really understand a lot of it. It's like, I don't know all the little rules and all that stuff. But I think as far as like for the athletes, I think it's great. I think that people get to go out and, they get to get paid, and they don't have to be, that broke college student.
Right.
Like, they get to go out and, they get to make money on their name. And I think that's a good thing for the players for sure. Guys being able to benefit something, get a little bit of money for playing well and all that stuff. And I think it really goes to show, like, you get to really see which schools, I guess, want you, or like you want to feel wanted in somewhere where you want to go, I guess, in my mind. So I feel like with NIL, it gives a good idea of what schools like really want you and stuff like that. So I think it's good. I know it's super crazy and hectic, and like I said, I don't know all the rules, but I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's crazy watching, because it's almost like free agency out there when you see them in football and basketball, the way these guys are in the transfer portal, the way they're transferring schools and things. But the money that's out there, it should be allocated towards the players. We've talked about this through our program. We've been our podcast. We've had it for the last about the last 14 months, but we've talked a lot about it with a lot of colleges and college coaches and a lot of student athletes that are in the same position. And it's just like, it's about that time that money, all that money those schools are making, get allocated and pay the players the way it should be done.
Yeah, it's long overdue. It's long overdue. So it's good to see that part. Okay, so as we're moving forward, as you're part of the organization now, and how cool is it as well to be considered as one of the big? You're obviously very high touted prospect, but the fact that you guys have one of the best catching pipelines in all of baseball, and everyone knows it. So when I lead to this question, is it like, do you, as where the Royals are right now, and so they're like, if you listen day and night, some days are buyers or sellers, it's a lot going on. And obviously like you, Blake, come up and he's like, hey, if we're going to go get a bat, do you listen to that? Or is it just kind of like, hey, I'm here to play baseball. I play a position that we're the best in baseball. I mean, 3 dogs in your system. I mean, 3 kids that are going to be studs at the next level, and everyone knows it. And every team in the MLB knows it as well. Like, you guys are not someone under the radar that are going to slide under that radar, but you guys are all 3 dogs and be part of that, like I said, pipeline that's the best in baseball right now.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously, like, you see it all over social media. But like for me, it's like it's just outside noise. I mean, I don't focus on it. I try to stay off Twitter the best I can, and especially in baseball season, because it's like I feel like Twitter sometimes for us professional athletes is like a happiness killer.
Yes.
So I try to stay away from it. But yeah, I mean, it's just outside noise for me. I just go out there and I put forth my best foot every day. Play 100%. And I know at the end of the day, God's got a plan for me. I know the Royals have a plan for me. So I just go out there and enjoy playing baseball. I don't try to make it too serious so much. I get to go out there and live my dream every day. So I just want to go out there, have fun, obviously play well the best I can, and everything will take care of itself for sure.
Yeah, which was awesome is being a local kid. Back in 14 and 15 when we were making a run, you were like huge Royals fan, huge Hosmer, huge, just like the whole city was. It was captivated. It had been such a long time. And I remember hearing an interview where, like, I think it was in spring training but you get on first base and Hosmer's there and you're like, man, I'm trying to focus, but I'm like, Hosmer's my guy. And I'm sitting there like trying to focus the task at hand, but it's like, fuck, it's Hosmer, man. It's like, it's my guy when I was growing up. And the cool thing, man, which is there's not many people in professional sports and more or less baseball that you have got someone like Salvi, who was a guy that I'm sure took some of his game and some of his stuff as a young man, whether it's because you're swaggy. I see you with your chains on, you looking good, some of that swag. But Salvi, and then to be in the clubhouse with him, it's got to be like, whoa, it's got to be kind of like, how's that feel, man? And how is it? How do you deal with that without getting like kind of fanboy and like, damn?
Yeah, I mean, at first it was definitely different. Felt like I was living out a dream. Like I was like, man, this doesn't feel real. Like I look across the clubhouse where my locker's in and Salvi's right over there. Like I was at first I was like, man, like this doesn't feel real. And then like I think that was my first big league spring training invite. That's kind of where I felt like that. And then like this past year in spring training, like we were working together every day, like, and like it kind of turned into, like, obviously it was still super cool, but now it's like, all right, like I'm learning from him the best I can. Like
sure.
I'm gonna watch him go about his day. I'm gonna see how he handles his business, and I'm gonna try to do that because like I want to be as great as he is and have as good of a career as he did, or is having right now. Like
sure.
He's been playing this game for a long time. Like he'll be a Hall of Famer. Obviously that's what I want for myself too. So I'm just trying to learn from him. I text him every once in a while throughout the season, and it's pretty cool to have somebody who really honestly cares as much about me and my game as he does his own.
That's awesome, man.
That's really awesome to know. I can't see, I mean, not that we're in that dugout or we're in there, but I can't see Salvi being any other way. But you know what I'm saying? Like kind of taking you under his wing and trying to teach you as much about the game as possible. Let me ask you a question, Carter, because this is something, I'm a lifelong, baseball player. That was my love growing up was baseball. I was a left-handed pitcher. But tell us what it was like. Tell our audience what it was like. What was it like when the draft starts coming up? You're talking to your agent, and you're committed to LSU. What was that like when you got that call, and where were you when you got it? Were you with your family? Tell us about that when you got drafted. What was that like?
Yeah, that was a really good day. I remember waking up and I was like, man, today's the day. Like I'm becoming a professional baseball player. Obviously in the back of my mind, like the whole day leading up to when I got picked, I was like, please be the Royals, please be the Royals. But obviously I had no idea who it was going to be. We were talking to a bunch of different teams. So obviously my agent keeping me posted on what teams are saying and, when to kind of look out, like what round and what pick we're kind of looking at. And I remember my agent called me and he said, hey, like the Royals just offered a 3rd round pick. And I remember that it was like, like my hands immediately got sweaty. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, no way. Like this is actually going to happen. And yeah, they told me the offer, and I was like looked at my parents, and we all kind of looked at each other. We are like, let's do it. And told my agent, I'm like, all right, sounds good. Like we'll do it. Sounds good. And then immediate shift to the TV because the Royals, like it was all happening in real time. Like
Right.
I think they announced it like 40 seconds after I got off the phone. And that was like my heart was beating out of my chest, and it came official on the TV, and it was a lot of fun. It was me and my 3 brothers, mom, dad, and then my best friend from back home. So had a small circle there, but I mean it was awesome. It was a really good time.
So were you guys just at home when you got that call, or where were you guys?
We were just in my living room. We were watching the draft, and obviously watching everybody, like all the guys I played with and played against, just kind of seeing how the draft unfolded. And obviously I was talking with my agent the whole time because we were trying to figure out when I was going to go. And yeah, we were just in my living room back home in Kansas City.
That's so cool, man. Yeah. That's so cool. So that's just one of those pinchy kind of moments of like, man, did this just really happen? Going to my hometown team, someone you've loved and followed all along your life growing up. Just one of those pinch me moments type of deals.
100%, yeah, 100%. It never like felt real until like I think when I got to Arizona and put on a Royals jersey for the first time, like as a player, I think that's when it kind of started to feel real. And then like I think like it's gonna continue to start feeling realer and realer until I make my debut. It's just one of those things. Like there's so many things that happen. Like the first time I got invited to big league spring training, like it felt more real. And then getting called up to Omaha this year, like I'm like, man, it's feeling even more real. I'm one step away now. So yeah, I think it's like still like until I make my debut, and even probably past then. I think once I like make my debut, it's gonna take some time to feel real again. But yeah, I mean, it's just like the best way to describe it is just living out a dream for sure.
So when you're in this process right now, and you're kind of starting to move up fast. How is that when you're in the clubhouse and you get that call? Because you're with your guys and you're grinding, and then you're like, hey, you're getting called up. So obviously it's great. You're stoked. You're like, yeah, let's go. But is it kind of like, you're leaving your dudes and like the dudes you've been grinding with and working with, and it's the next stop, and then you're to the next level? Because I imagine baseball's like no other as far as camaraderie and the brotherhood that you built, in the clubhouse and the stories and just so much of it. It's got to be like, man, I would, I never obviously been in a big league clubhouse or even minor league clubhouse, but I have to be like, man, I'm going to miss my guys. I'll see you again when we get up to the bigs. But obviously I had Noah that was, just called up. And so is that something that like that affects you? Like, man, you're grinding with your dudes, but then it's like I got to say bye to them for now, and you're going to do your thing at the next level.
Yeah, for sure. Especially a lot of those guys I've played with throughout my whole career. So, I mean, definitely it sucks, leaving them and not being on the same team as them. But I think like I've been on this other side of the stick. Like, I mean, watching guys get called up, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like we all know that we all have our own separate paths.
Sure.
We're not all going to have the same carbon copy path to the big leagues. So I think that's kind of what keeps everybody grounded, is everybody knows that they have their own path, and as long as they can stick to that, and as long as I can stick to that mindset of knowing that I have my own path and I'm gonna get there if I just keep taking care of my business. That's what helps out a lot. But yeah, it definitely stinks leaving a lot of the guys. But the good thing is, like I have a lot of guys on this team in Omaha that I know well, and just going to continue to grind out the rest of the season with.
I was thinking about this today. I was like, what's it like with Rich Hill? That's like Unk in the clubhouse, isn't it? With Rich Hill? Like he's got to be like your pop's age, right? And how much do you try to take from a guy that's such a seasoned big, and a guy, but it's like you see that it's like, man, he got to be Unk. He got to be going to bed early. He got to be like, he just get Unk in the clubhouse.
Yeah, Rich is awesome. I mean, like he's been amazing to me. He's helped me out a ton. Being able to just kind of talk to him and pick his brain, just because he has so much experience at the big league level. Like, and obviously he went through the minor leagues too. Like,
sure,
he's experienced everything that I'm getting ready to experience. So I've picked his brain, and just ask them questions. That's the best thing I can do, especially as a young guy. And
Sure.
having people like him in the clubhouse, just like as much information I can get from him, it's only going to benefit me in my career. So he's been amazing.
That's
He's
awesome.
an amazing guy, and I'm glad he's here to kind of like so I can get that experience and learn from him.
100.
So Carter, you in spring training, you're going to start, in Double-A. Your mindset there, it's just so much different because we talk with a lot of guys that played college basketball, NBA, NFL guys. Obviously, baseball is different from those other two major sports. So for you, when you go to Double-A, is your mindset just I go out and work every day and let things kind of fall into place, or do you kind of have a mindset of, hey, I'm hoping by this time, maybe I'm making a move of getting, moved up. How does that mindset go, and what works for you to put you in a position to have your success that you've had this year?
Yeah, I think earlier in my career, it was a lot of the like trying to set like dates for myself. Like, all right, I need to be moved up by this certain date, and I realized like with that mindset for me, it doesn't work just because like I'm so focused on the future,
Right.
Like I'm like, man, I have to be here at this time. Like, and like I felt like that just took so much out of me. It's like it wasn't helping me get better, and I was just causing stress for myself. So I think like especially this year, I think I've kind of perfected that mindset a little bit of just being able to go out and focus day by day. Like I have to take care of today. The yesterday's in the past, I can't change it, and
Right.
tomorrow is not here yet. Like I can't control what happens tomorrow. Like I just have to take care of today, take care of my business, be able to not focus on the future. And I realized with that mindset, like everything's just gonna fall into place, and it's gonna happen. Like obviously, like you'll never expect when it's gonna happen. And then I feel like this year, like just being able to put my head down and grind and try not to focus on like the future of when I'm going to get called up, or like, am I going to make my debut this year? Like
Right.
if I can just take care of my business day by day, like everything's just going to fall into place. And I've seen that with the success I've had this year.
Yeah, so because when you went up to Triple-A, didn't start off exactly how you wanted it, but then in the last week, what have you hit 4 or 5 home runs? And I've just seen like your approach and your mentality. You're locked in. You didn't get discouraged. You didn't let it affect what you were doing behind the dish, and it's a testament to who you are and that mindset where you just spoke of. That it's like, all right, didn't start out exactly how you wanted it, but you're locked in, and your approach was the same, and it was just your demeanor was the same. And I was like, man, this kid, he's a real one, man. He did not let that. A lot of kids, as you know, let that start that they didn't, not the greatest start that they wanted. It would affect him calling a game, affect him behind the dish a little bit. You did not, and now it's like, is it slowed down a little bit, or how is that when you go from like the Double-A to Triple-A? But how did you personally stay locked in and say, you know what? I'm gonna call my best game. I'm gonna be good behind the dish. I'm gonna help us win in other ways because I know my bat will get going. Once again, would you hit 4 home runs in 5 days or 5 home runs in 6 days, something like that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you guys said, like my first week in AAA was not how I wanted it to be. But like I just kind of realized like I was putting a little bit of pressure on myself. I started to feel like, yeah, I'm one step away from the big leagues. Like I have to be perfect, and like that's not the mindset. Like you're not gonna be perfect in baseball, and I know like it's cliche saying, but like baseball's a game of failure. Like you have to be able to embrace it. That's just like a simple way to put it. Like I think what changed from last week to this past week was like I just realized like nobody's gonna come save me. Like I have to do this like myself. Like I can't. Nobody's gonna come save me from feeling sorry about not getting a hit that day, or not throwing out a runner who stole. Like nobody's gonna come save me. Like I have to be able to deal with that stuff on my own. I think it's part of maturing as a player. Like I have to be able to go out there every day, not worry about what happened in the last game, and just be able to put my mind on what's like important at the moment, like at the task at hand, whether that's catching or hitting. And I think that's what I did this week. I trusted myself. I trusted my ability. Like I know I can hit. I know I can catch, and just kind of focus on that and like just trust that I know what I'm doing, and I know that I can play this game at a high level. And I think that just took away the pressure and not thinking about a million things when I'm up hitting at the plate.
Sure.
Just being able to relax and have fun and just go back to the mindset of like Like, I am good at this game. I wouldn't be in this position if I wasn't. Like, just trusting in myself, and that's basically what helped me out the most.
Absolutely.
You know, Carter, earlier on one of our podcasts, we had on Brian McRae last summer, and we were kind of talking to him, and B-Mac kind of threw a story out that kind of made you really think as a baseball player. And he was talking about his time in Chicago and playing day games. And he goes, you would think it'd be one way, but he said, when it was during the season, you knew you were going to face someone like a Randy Johnson. He goes, those would be the nights that I would like go out and not think about anything, because in his mindset, he's like, I'm supposed to go for 3 tomorrow against Randy Johnson or Roger Clemens. But he goes, then the other 3 days of the week when I faced a 2, 3, 4, and 5 starter, I knew there were guys I could get. Those are the nights I would get a good night's sleep, get geared in, because I know if I went 1 for 3, 2 for 3 against those guys, that was going to make my series. And I just thought it was the funniest story when B-Mac told that. But it made a lot of sense, man. He said, yeah, against Clemens and Randy Johnson, I would just I'd go out the night before and just relax and not think about it, because I knew if I got a hit, I wasn't supposed to get a hit against those type of guys that were going to be in the Hall of Fame. Has it been a real difference? Can you tell, as far as a AA to AAA, the pitching has stepped up? It's another degree. You're starting to see some guys that come down from the MLB squads that are maybe rehabbing a sign or something. How has the pitching looked different to you that you've seen from AA to AAA?
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's different in a lot of ways. Like, obviously in AA, I feel like you face a lot of prospects, younger guys, like, who are coming up, and those guys are really good. And then AAA, I feel like you face those guys who are like either on the brink of getting up to the MLB, or guys that have been there and came back down. And I feel like with those guys, they know how to pitch really well. In AA, obviously, like, not every time, but like, you'll see fastballs and fastball counts a lot of the times. Like a 2-0 or a 3-1 or something like that. You're expecting a fastball, and then like up here, guys will throw a changeup or a slider or something, like, because they can throw that pitch effectively for a strike, like, whenever they want, and they can put it wherever they want to. So I feel like with that, like, that's where the difference comes in, is that these guys kind of know where their ball, like, where the ball is going. They can put the ball on the outside part of the plate if they want to. They can put it on the inside. They can put it in the dirt. Like, they can just kind of do what they want. Like, the command is a lot better. Which, like, was difficult at first. I've faced guys like that before, especially just in, like, big league spring training. But I think what killed me the most was I was just like, man, like, I have to expand. Like, I have to cover the whole plate. Right. And that's not the case at all. Like, what I have to do is I just have to pick a side of the plate to cover. I have to pick a zone, and I have to be able to cover that, so when they do throw the ball in that zone, that I'm ready to go and I can crush something. So I think that it's obviously different, but I think it's not a difference to where it's like, oh, I don't think I can do this. Or like, this is way harder. It's just a different way of pitching, for sure.
Just a different mentality. Hey, Carter, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break just for a minute so we can go into some of our sponsors from our ads from our sponsors. If you got a few more minutes, man, we want to come back after break and keep talking to you some more about this season and where you're at if you got some more time to hang out with us. Tonight's episode of Love You Bro Podcast is being brought to you by Patrick's Bar and No Grill. We're going to talk about a very special event that they've got going up. Our good friend Pat Sanders over at Patrick's is a very good friend of our family's. Does some great stuff over there. Great bar to go into, man. Little bar down there on Warnell. But we want to talk about their 16th anniversary Craig Satch Sanders Memorial. 0.1K is the actual run. It's on August 10th, 2025. It is at 8251 Warnell Road in Kansas City, Missouri. Race day registration is from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. The race starts at 2. You guys, it's for a great cause. This money goes towards the Kansas City Hospice, which plays a very big role in a lot of our families, and the Sanders families. It's played a role in ours as well. Pre-registration begins now. Registration is $35 until July 31st. $40 beginning August 1st. Includes a T-shirt for the first 500 registrants. Grilled hot dogs, sausages on race day. Finisher's medal. Outside tent and bar. We'll have the porta potties, silent auction, raffle. Feel free to bring your own lawn chair. This event is in memory of Craig Satch Sanders. Craig was a very, very good friend of my brother Bob's. We lost my brother Bob, but we lost Craig Sanders. So for Pat and I, it's something that means a lot to us. But this event is in memory of Craig Satch Sanders, Shirley, Mom Sanders, and all of our loved ones who have benefited from the Kansas City Hospice. So again, brought to you tonight by Patrick's Bar and No Grill, 16th anniversary, Craig Satch Sanders Memorial, 0.1K. Register now, guys. So we appreciate it. Patrick's Bar, thank you guys so much for sponsoring the episode tonight. Welcome back to Love You Real Podcast. We have our special guest on tonight, man. Our guy Carter Jensen from Park Hill in our backyard here, doing this thing right now with Triple-A with the Royals. Carter, let's jump back into. Want to talk a little bit about. I know you guys got a series coming up with Toledo. Is that right? Is that what's coming up next? How do your guys' series work and the minor leagues? As far as I know, I looked and saw you guys really don't play on Monday nights. How do the series go there? And Triple-A is the same as Double-A. And tell us a little bit about that and how those series go, and then we'll get into a little bit more with that.
Yeah, so it's all pretty much the same. We play 6-game series each week. Monday always being the off day. So we play on Tuesday through Sunday. Day games sprinkled in. Usually Sundays are all day games, just for travel and stuff like that. Make sure we get back. But yeah, it's usually the same. I think it's all the same from each level, just 6-game series.
Oh, nice. Awesome. So you guys are home for the next 6 games. Is that correct?
Yep.
So as you guys start looking into your season, what is it like as far as your guys, when you guys are looking ahead, when you're looking at the scouting and stuff like that? How much stuff do you spend on money looking at, who could possibly be, coming up that you're going to face? Is that something you kind of spend some stuff on Monday and looking to see who you're going to face, during the week?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, usually every Monday, I try to take some time to, look at their lineup. As far as the catching side, look at their lineup and see kind of how we're going to attack them and how we're going to pitch them. And then also from the hitting side, looking at the guys who are going to start, and then the relievers also. So kind of look at it on Monday, the off day, just to be able to go into the week knowing I'm prepared. And, there's not going to be any, I guess, doubt in my mind about when a guy comes in to pitch, or when they start a game, that I know what I'm going to do and know what my approach is. So usually Tuesday we'll have some meetings with coaches also, just kind of going over everything, making sure we're all good and ready to go for the week.
I remember back in my day, I played junior college baseball, Carter. That was it. I tore my shoulder up after my sophomore year. But I always enjoyed, sitting down with coach and knowing who I was going to throw against, maybe once in the week and then throwing over the weekend. I always liked going through and looking at the scouting reports and checking out to see what hitters and what they were hitting. So, and then a lot of times, all the time I would get together with my catcher and have those conversations of, okay, we know what this guy likes to hit, what this guy doesn't like to hit. I think to me that was a lot of the fun of it, was the strategy and what I had that week and knowing where I needed to be, knowing where I couldn't miss, or else they were going to put that thing 420 feet over my head. But that was part of the game that I enjoy. Is that something you enjoy on Mondays? When do you get a chance to talk to your pitchers? Do you talk to your pitchers the day of? Do you guys spend time on Monday? How does that work with you guys?
Yeah, I enjoy it for sure. It's kind of just a little start to the week. Just kind of getting used to the team that we're going to face. And yeah, it's kind of different for everybody. Relievers will usually go over it on Tuesday, just kind of as a group. So it'll be our pitching coaches, the catchers, and they're all the relievers. And we'll kind of just go over their lineup and their hitters, and just kind of a plan for attack there. And then the starters is usually right before the game, the day that they're starting. So we'll have a meeting each day with a different starter, just kind of how they're going to use their strengths against these guys, and how we're going to go about it. And if there's certain things that we see in their lineup, maybe that they're looking for the ball inside, so we'll maybe shift to a little bit more of an outside approach, just stuff like that. Pretty simple, but at the end of the day, just making sure that the pitcher knows that we're going to do everything we can as catchers, and also the pitching coaches to help them get through their outing and help them have the outing that they want to have.
Something that I'm curious about is because I'm a big NBA guy, and they talk about, like, when they pull up to Rucker, they pull up to like they're hooping during the summer. So is there a time when there's a pitcher on the hill that hey, there's a guy who's either on a rehab assignment that they want to go out a little differently, who's a dog, who's been in the league, that comes down and your adrenaline kind of takes over? Just like you, if you're facing someone that's a dog in the league and you're like, you get a little extra amped. They got that you're up at the dish. But from a pitching standpoint, if you got 2 or 3 guys on a rehab assignment, or like Toledo, I mean, Detroit, they have one of the best farm systems in all of baseball throughout their system. There's a lot of guys that have either are a step away, injury, or a rehab assignment. How is that with who's throwing on the hill? Unless you got a guy like Rich who's like, man, this is just what it is. But guys maybe not have that experience or facing someone that, like I said, he's either down on assignment or a rehab stint. How does that work, or is it even a thing?
Yeah, for sure. For some guys it is a thing. For some guys it isn't. It's just kind of based on the pitcher. But like at the end of the day, like what I like to tell my pitchers is like you may not want to face this MLB All-Star who's rehabbing right now. You got to face him. But like at the end of the day, you have to assert your dominance. Like you're on the mound, you have to run the at bat. Like you can't just back down just because an All-Star is is in the plate. Sure. So I kind of like to look at it that way, just because like I feel like if you look at it any other way, or looking at it like oh crap, like so and so's hitting, like we gotta go at this a different way. We gotta try to pitch around them. Like no, screw that. Like use your strengths. Like show him how good you are.
Yeah.
That's what I like to think about.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what I like to say to my pitchers. Like because I think confidence in any aspect of baseball is like you need it. Like you can't play this game not confident. Like you can't go out there with shrugged down shoulders. Like you have to be out there. Like you got to puff your chest sometimes. Sometimes
Sure.
it's harder. Sometimes it's easy, but like I feel like that gives you an extra little competitive edge against the opponent.
For sure.
Yeah, I love that. So tell us, Toledo with being Detroit's, their minor league system. Are you guys amped up knowing how good their team is, and what's that approach this week to the Toledo series?
Yeah, I mean it's always good, playing against good teams, good systems. For me, like I get amped up just because like I honestly get amped up no matter who we're playing. Like that's just me. But, knowing that they have a good system and a good team, like I just know it's go time. Like it's time to show them how good we are too.
Sure.
And like that's my mindset going into every week. Like I want to go out there and I want to whip somebody's butt. Like that's my goal every single night. Like I don't want them I want them to see, oh, like we got to play Omaha today. Right. Like crap. Like they're gonna be smoking the ball around the yard. Like they're gonna pitch really well. Like that's what I like. That's what I like to kind of have that feel around the game and kind of around just every single day going out there. Like that's my goal.
Sure. Hey, so listen, so I'm a guy who likes drip. Like I like people who look clean at the plate, clean it. It's funny. We had a guy, Charles Amenia, who plays defensive end for the Chiefs. So I know you were a Chiefs fan from being from Park Hill, and so I would always see CO, and I'd be like, man, he different. Like, and so we had him on, and so I was like. So I got to say, he goes, I start thinking about it on Wednesday. What cleats, what socks, what glove combination I'm going to wear. So I'm like, and I was looking over laughing at Jude. It's like, I told you, man. I go, guys who are drippy are drippy. They not that it's more than the game, but they think about it. So in the futures game, you got your drip picked out, what you're going to rock with or what you're going to, or do you even think about that? Is that an idea?
Yeah, no, I have definitely thought about it. I have some good stuff planned for sure. I have 2 pairs of custom cleats coming, so we'll see which pair I decide to rock in the game.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm well prepared. I got all the drip and all the swag picked out, and I mean, like when it comes to that part of the game, like I love it. Like I love when guys show it off. Like
I think
it's like I'm a big feeler of like if I can go out and like walk out for the game and I'm like, man, I look fly. Like
yes,
that's
my
one
God.
of those things. It's like I feel good. And then I'm like, whether it's walking out, I'm like, man, like I look like an idiot right now. Like that's just kind of like I just kind of like one of those things. It's like I think about it and it helps me. Like if I feel like if I can put out some good style every day, like that helps me feel good and that gets me ready for the game and keeps me in a good mindset for sure.
Yeah, and actually I've seen it. I was like, boy, my boy is clean out there, man. Like from his frame he's wearing to his skull cap to every. I'm like, well, he's looking good. Like he looks good. Like he's ready to play, and you can tell, man. It's I know you enjoy it, but yeah. I was like, I know you got something picked out for the Futures game, like how it's going to look. So
yeah,
I can't wait.
That's all about that confidence when you take that field, right? Like you said, man, when you walk out and you look good, like you're ready to go. But it's all about that confidence level, having that. Let's touch on something else that I like. So, Carter, obviously, that's kind of I reached out to you when I saw some stuff and I saw you on social media and followed you on Instagram, and that's how we so I follow a lot of stuff Kansas City, all the sports, man, everything from KC Current to our Royals, minor league stuff, all the NFL stuff. So I notice on there a lot of times on Instagram, and I love seeing it, man, because I know playing baseball, I played for so many years. I just love, no matter what level you play at, the camaraderie you have with your players and your teammates and stuff. It's stuff that you talk about 20, 30 years later with your friends. And I see you got a really cool relationship with Jack Caglianone. Tell us a little bit about that and how that developed and stuff and where that's at. Because I like seeing back and forth when he got called up or whatever and you're sending him stuff on Instagram and just like, congrats to my guy, blah, blah, blah. You have a 2-home run night and I see Cag sending stuff to you. I just think it's super cool. Tell us a little bit about your relationship with Caglianone and what that's like.
Yeah, I mean, that's my brother, man. And like ever since we kind of played in the fall league together this past year, we got really close. And we'd always kind of known each other. I reached out to him obviously after he got drafted and started the relationship out a little bit and but like since the fall league, like we've been like real close. And I mean it's always good, like especially like being new into the organization, being able to, like, in my eyes, like when I had people step up and kind of show me the ways and just talk to me about different things, like not even like show me how everything works, but just like be there. That's what I try to be for all my teammates. And, Jack's been awesome. He's a true professional. Like he handles his business in the best way possible. And, being able to be really close with him, it's awesome just because like we both know that we want to play together for a while. And, that's the goal. Like we want to bring championships back to Kansas City together. And like, I feel like that's where we get excited together. It's like, man, we have such a good relationship. It's like, we're going to be together for years to come. We're going to be out there playing on the field, grinding out during the season. Like, it's awesome being able to have him. It's definitely for sure a good time. It's a blessing to have him in the organization because, he's one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
And, I think everybody knows that and, he knows that. But the best thing about him is like, he may know like he's one of the best players in the world, but he's never going to show it. He's never going to flaunt it. Like he's genuinely an amazing person. Which is, I mean, the kind of guy that you want to have on your team.
Right. That's awesome here. One of the, and I know you can attest this, but one of the coolest stories is, and I imagine seeing George Brett in the clubhouse or seeing him at, in Surprise is just, once again, being a local kid, like, holy shit. If I see him out at dinner, I'm like, damn, there's George. And that's my guy. Just, I grew up with that. But one of the great things he said, he was like, when you guys are, in spring training, he goes, I've been around the game for a really long time. He goes, it's the effect Cags has. He goes, you can kind of go through and you can be on your iPad doing your shit. He goes, when Cags come up, both dugouts are on the top of the dugout watching what he's going to do. And he goes, I have not seen that since Bo Jackson. And he goes, I'm not talking. He goes, the entire dugout. He goes, it's like the College World Series. Everyone's on the fence, like seeing what it is. And he goes, once what he did, everyone go do their stuff, do the routine, go look at the lap or go look at their iPad or whatever. But that's different. And being in it and the sound effects, obviously you've been around a lot, but they say multiple people, multiple big leaguers, multiple executives said the ball sounds so different when it comes off his bat.
Yeah, it's completely different. I mean, he's like I've said this in interviews before, like he's a freak of nature. Like he's definitely like probably like other than official like big leaguers like that I've played like with in spring training, like he's one of the best players I've ever played with for sure. And that's including him with like playing with Salvi, playing with Bobby in spring training, stuff like that. Like like as far as the minor league level, he's probably one of the most gifted players I've seen since I've been in professional baseball. So I'm just glad he's on our team.
Yeah,
that's all.
You know, Carter, last year at the World Series, I got an opportunity to watch Florida's BP there at the World Series. And just watching him with an aluminum bat in his hand, I thought, this guy, I can't believe this guy hasn't killed somebody already. Because I'm watching the ball come off his bat. And, I mean, I'm telling you what, he hit 10, 12, 13 out during batting practice. And the way it came off that aluminum bat, I thought, my God. And then a little bit later, we had on Xander Seacrest, who was the starting pitcher for Tennessee in the national championship game last year. And we had him on, and he spoke a little bit about, you know, throwing against Cags, and he was just like, God, this guy takes up the whole box. He goes, there's not a spot in his you know, swing that you can really get by. I know Cags has struggled a little bit here coming up, being moved up. Have you had any conversations with him in the last few weeks? Have you guys had any talks or just text messages at all during the last few weeks since he's been up?
Yeah, we talk every day, whether it's text or phone call, FaceTime, whatever. Like, we talk every day, which is good. Like, it helps me. I know it helps him. You know, obviously he hasn't had the start that he's wanted, but, like, at the same time, like, everybody knows he's going to be a star in this game.
Right.
Everybody knows that he's going to be one of those guys that, like, kids are going to be wearing his jersey all over the city. And
hey, my guy already has one. He pulled up the other day, and I'm like, man, where'd you get that Cags at?
It's like, I told him, I'm like, I'm still waiting on mine. I still have my jersey. But
hey,
I mean,
was he stoked about
awesome,
that ball he pulled out of right field? That was a big time play when he robbed that home run. That was dope.
I texted him, I think, like, very soon after that happened. I was like, dude, like, what in the world? Like, and he texted me after the game. He's like, dude, that was insane. Like, that was nuts. And I was like, yeah, man, that was a crazy play for sure.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But yeah, it's been fun to watch him, you know, this season, just going out there. You know, it's his dream. He's living out his dream too, just kind of like what I said earlier, how I'm living out mine. Like, it's been fun to watch him live out his as well.
You know, Carter, I haven't bought a lot of baseball jerseys the last few years, and I got one of Bobby Witt's a couple of years ago, and I said, okay, I'm good for a while. When Cags got moved up, I got Cags, and in talking to him the other day, I told him, I said, I'm not doing any more jerseys, man, until Carter makes his debut. When Carter makes his debut, I'll get my Carter Jensen jersey, and then I'm good, man. I'll have my three guys that are going to lead us to some stuff. So we can't wait to see that happen for you. You know, obviously we're going to continue to watch you this season and see all the amazing things that you're doing. Listen now, we're gonna get up to Omaha, man. So we're gonna come up there and check you out and catch at least a couple nights. We want to catch some games up there in Omaha this season. So we're gonna be up there to check you out.
We pull up for real, yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, let me know. Let me know.
Hey, so are you a big Chiefs fan?
Yeah, huge Chiefs fan.
Okay. So listen, so let's do this year. Obviously, my other company that I have, Carter, I do athlete logistics. Been doing a lot of stuff for NFL players for a long time. So we do a lot of stuff there. We've got season tickets there. We would love, when your season's over, man, to invite you to come and roll out with us one day. We sit 50-yard line, third row behind the Chiefs bench. We'd love to invite you to come out to a game with us, man, this fall. If you got some time, we'll stay in touch. And then we'd love to invite you out to a Chiefs game with us this fall.
Uncle won't turn up too much.
I'm down for that for sure. I'm down to come to that for sure. I try to make it to a few every year. So yeah, I'm for sure down for that. I'd love to.
Awesome. Well, Carter, listen, man, we can't thank you enough for taking time out of your night and out of your schedule, man. We know how busy you are. So thank you so much for giving Love You Bro some time tonight to come on. I'm gonna send
some swag out.
Yeah, I'm gonna send some stuff out to you. What I'm gonna do is have you go to our merch store, pick a color out. Let me know what you want. We'll send out. We got some hoodies. We got some crew neck sweatshirts and stuff to send out to you. And then Lula's Southern Cookhouse, where we shoot our podcast here. They do a great job for us, and they give us gift cards to give out to our guests. So when you come back in town, I'll send it to you, or send it to your address here. But this way, when you come back during the off season, come to Lula's, have dinner on Love You Bro podcast, and you're a part of the Love You Bro family now, bro. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys. It's a lot of fun.
Can't wait to see that drip on Futures Game, boy.
Got you.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, man. Stay healthy the rest of the year. We'll see you up in KC soon.
Carter, you see our Love You Bro flag behind. So when you do make it in town, we make contact. We want you to come on, sign the Love You Bro flag for us.
Okay, yes, sir.
I appreciate it. Love you, bro.
We'll be in touch, man. Love you, bro. Listen, good luck the rest of the season. The Futures game. We can't wait to see you.
Appreciate it, guys. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for being on, Carter. Talk to you soon.
I'm Todd White with Todd's Clothiers and Tailoring. For over a decade, we've been helping Kansas City men upgrade their wardrobe with timeless and tailored style. Whether it's for work, a wedding, or a night out on the town, owning a well-made suit will make you feel comfortable and confident for any occasion. We offer off-the-rack as well as made-to-measure suits with the kind of quality you will feel from the moment you put it on. Visit us at the Legends Outlet or Ward Parkway Mall, or book online at toddsclothiers.com. Todd's Clothiers, experience dressing well.
Yeah, bro, we've had some amazing guests on here lately, man. We'll have a lot more coming up the rest of the summer.
Yeah,
we'll be doing some big things for our 50th episode here at Lula. Going to get with Bradley and Brittany Gilmore. I know we're planning on doing a little stuff for our 50th episode here. We'll be inviting up guests. I know our intern and our social media guy Quinn will be putting out some stuff. If you're following us, make sure you follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, follow us on X, as well as our YouTube channel. Because if you're a subscriber and you follow us, you'll be seeing the stuff that Quinn's going to be throwing out to get you a free ticket to come in. We're going to invite about 50 people in, followers, subscribers that have been on. Going to invite them in, a little food, drink, and then invite
a lot of drink.
Yeah, a lot of drink. There'll be a lot of drinks that night flowing. And then we're going to invite back some of our guys, man. We're going to reach out to Billy Moss and Grunhard and St. John, Jillian Carroll, have some of our guests back, and then have guys like Derek Johnson and Dexter and some of those guys, Brandon Flowers, have some of those guys call in. So it'll be a cool show. But you know what? Carter Jensen,
Carter's
man,
a stud. He's
what
a
a cool kid.
He's a stud.
Again, thank you, Carter, man, for taking time out of your schedule,
man. He's a stud
and coming on,
dude. His man. I mean, he, you know, and I didn't get to ask him, but he had to play quarterback. He just has that mentality, dude.
Point guard basketball and quarterback.
I mean, he just has that mentality. It is just, he was a stud, man. And I cannot wait to get him up. What a stud. Just. Yeah,
I'm super excited to watch him next week in the Futures game.
I can't wait, man.
Yeah.
I know he's gonna be dripped out.
What he say? He's got a couple pairs of cleats coming in.
I told you. Yeah, man. I've seen enough to be like,
right.
He think about it. Like there's some people, but no. Yes, I'm stoked for him. But you know, once again, awesome. It's so cool. He's from, you know, I mean, you know, and I didn't get, you know, sometimes I just get overwhelmed with excitement, you know, about what's going on. But you know what, his obviously debut, good Lord willing, in a Royals uniform will mean, you know how big it was for Noah Cameron from St. Joe when he came back and did his thing, and this, you know, his story, and everyone loves the story. And you know, like I said, you know, when talking to him, like they have, if not the best, one of the top 2 or 3 catching pipelines in all of baseball, and that's a thing, man. That's a thing.
Yeah.
And you know, so it's kind of these new, like Blake Mitchell steals bases. He steals. I think he had 17 last year. It's just the having the catchers back there that call good games and hit bombs. These dudes. I mean, you see the excitement and the like he play. You know, helmet flying off. He like
lot of passion, bro. A lot of passion, a lot of heart.
When he said, he was like, you know, he goes, I get pumped. I get worked every night. That's awesome. That's someone who absolutely loves the game.
Just loves the game.
It'll be
man.
great. And this will be a big week, man. This is a huge week. We've said this a lot throughout the course this year for the Royals.
Oh man,
this
buyers, sellers. What do you think? We got Pittsburgh.
No one wants to hear what I was saying because I'm like, I would.
Who comes?
You know what's crazy to me? What's crazy to me is that when you're talking about these prospects, or not prospects, but guys that we have. Like Lugo's gone, regardless if we win, if we beat.
You mean at the end of the year?
No.
This year, you think he's on?
You think
Lugo's on mid-season?
Yeah, he's going to opt out of his contract, and he's going to go. Passon said he's going to get 3 for $75 in the open market.
Ooh, 3 for $75. Dude, that's a lot of money to a guy he's getting older. That's a lot of money.
Shout out Jeff Passon. I trust Jeff Passon.
Oh, I totally trust Jeff Passon. Absolutely.
What he's saying. It's not like I'm saying he's going to.
No. I'm just telling you from our standpoint. Yeah. This is the whole reason we have a podcast is to have an opinion. Passon, that dude knows and knows what's going on for sure. way more than we know what's going on. I'm just saying if it's me and it's my money,
he's walking. So
I'm not giving Seth Lugo 3 for 75.
Regardless, he's gone at the deadline. But I heard other guys on, and they're like, well, they really don't have anything. It's like, it's weird because the Royals have always been that, like, I don't know. Like, okay, so Maikel Garcia, they're claiming for him to be an all-star at third base. The Yankees need a third baseman. The Cubs need a third baseman. So the big thing for me is when I look at this, when these teams, and I don't know how they've done it, it baffles me, but the teams in the playoffs, all of the, you look top 10, they all have the best farm systems.
Right.
It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. We're right now at 24th, and obviously we've moved some people up, but so have like Detroit. If you're me right now, you package piece together. If you give a Estevez and a Lorenzen, or Estevez and Maikel,
you better get some pieces back, brother. You better get some.
Well,
pieces
that's what I'm saying.
back, man.
So you can go from being the 24th farm system into when they get guys back for this, they're not getting high A guys. I mean, these are guys that
way.
they're getting. I mean, you're the guy on today said a brilliant thing. He goes, right now, if you're in a 2-year window, you're in a 1-year window, because in 2027 with the collective bargaining, you don't know what you're gonna have. You might not have a season. They may lock that shit out.
Of course,
with baseball.
yeah,
they have a history of doing that in the past.
Right.
So you don't know what's gonna happen or where's it gonna go. So if you're in it right now, like if you're the Cubs, you're pedal to down. And they said today they won't trade Bubic. I'm like, they're not going to pay Bubic Corbin Burns money. Right. They're not going to give him 5 for 200. They won't do it.
Right.
So it's like, I get it, but if you're not going to, you have Bobby Witt, you have, you want to win sooner or later.
Right.
You're not looking. So there's no one there. I called in to Josh Vernier 2 weeks ago, and he said, who's not available? And I go, and he was pissed off. He was hot. After what we've done, I said, Cags, Witt, and Urseg, because he's got like 4 years of control,
right.
So he can be your closer.
Right.
I go, everyone else, if you're not picking up the phone, I don't care who it is, and no disrespect to anyone.
Right, of course.
No disrespect
from a business standpoint.
Yes, everyone that you want to come talk
available
to me about.
And what he said? What he
goes,
said?
You're right. You nailed it.
There you go.
He goes, you're right. You
there
know
you go.
And I go, there's no one that's like, you're not.
Okay, so sorry, I'm going to cut you off, but let's do this for a second. Okay, so we got the Pirates here for a 3-game series, right? Who comes after Pittsburgh?
Mets.
Okay, so you got Pirates and
we were lucky in Pitt. So listen, this real quick. A lot of people bought tickets tonight
to go see Skeens,
and they put them up last night.
yeah. A lot of people bought tickets to see.
Which I would like to see too.
So you got Pittsburgh, you got the Mets. Got the trade deadline coming up.
Just let Lugo walk across the clubhouse.
Where would you what would you do if they went 4-2, 5-1? Or do you still keep the same mentality you have now, being the seller?
I mean,
4-2, 5-1. What does that do for you?
I think that you have to, like, because to me, I'm a person that wants to set the market. Right. I don't want other teams setting the market. Right. I want to be
I like that.
I want to say, hey, you want Lugo? This is what you're going to give. Not, then go ahead. The Cubs were high on Mitch Keller, and there's some shit that came in through with Mitch Keller from the Pirates he's dealing with. Lugo has pitched in New York.
Yeah.
He's pitched in New York. Right. He has pitched in playoff games. Yeah. It's a guy that, like, you're going to tell me you're going to give me this guy. This guy, like, no, hell no.
Right.
He is a badass number 3 behind 2 horses.
Of course.
And Luka throws 9 pitches. He's not going to blow you away. He's not going to hit 103 like the kid from Milwaukee on the gun. But he'll beat you. So if they do that, if they go 5-1, 6-0, then let's go. You're right back. You're right back in it. Yeah. And Friday night, it was on the 4th. That was a really fun game. They were hitting bombs. Yeah. They were hitting bombs, and their offense was going, and Bubic was dealing. It's like, but those ones, Pasquatch hit, those were bombs, bro.
Yeah, they were, bro.
Those were bombs, and it's like, where is this?
Can you imagine? I mean, if you brought up a Carter Jensen, had a hit from the left side, Cags, you had Vinny. I mean, you could put some stuff together.
We'll see where it goes, but yeah, man, that was great. Carter Jensen, once again, shout out.
Great episode with Carter Jensen. We're gonna give a shout out tonight too, man, to our boys. We love the Mexican American, the fast pitch softball. Big fans of. I spent over 20 years playing. Shout out to our guys, KC Los Bravos, who won the Newton, the 77th annual Newton tournament. Rob Vera, Bubba Hernandez. Who else we got over there? Louis Vaca. Congratulations to you guys, man, on bringing home the championship this week. Shout out from Love You, Bro. We expect to see you guys here on the 50th episode, drinking some Mick Ultras with us and doing that up. But another great episode, man. We got next week on our next week's show, we got Jacob Bartlett from the Sporting Kansas City coming on next week. So
can't wait to get him on.
Super excited to have Jacob in the house. So
absolutely.
Until then, man, love you, bro.
Love you, bro.
Okay. We're out. Guys, we'd like to thank our resident sponsor, Proactive Solutions. They've been with us from day one. They allow us, Love You Bro podcast, to get to do what we do each and every week, and that's bring you a new episode with new guests. So a big shout out to Dean and Natalie Thede at Proactive Solutions. Proactive Solutions has been delivering infrastructure solutions and IT design and consultation services to clients ranging from startups to Fortune 100 companies for more than 27 years. They are proud to be a Kansas City locally owned and a top woman-owned business, offering custom solutions and personalized support. So thank you to Proactive Solutions, Dean and Natalie. If you guys are interested and your company needs some IT solutions, reach out to Proactive Solutions at www.proactivesolutions.com. We have two great resident sponsors that really help us here at Love You Bro Podcast and allow us to do what we get to do week in and week out. Lula's Southern Cookhouse, Bradley and Brittany Gilmore, owners of Lula's. It's at 1617 Main Street. If you have not been down here, please come down on a Sunday and have brunch. Great wait staff, great bartenders. The ownership team with Bradley and Brittany Gilmore are just fantastic people, and they allow us to do what we get to do in this amazing event space at Lula's Southern Cookhouse.